Last night began the final half of the final season of AMC's dark drama, Breaking Bad. Mike's here to discuss with us, without spoilers, what happened last night.
How are we going to do this without spoilers?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
You
shouldn't
know?
say anything. No, I watched. I want to talk.
I mean, I think that we can at least set up where this picks up with Walter trying to get out of the game and live a decent, ordinary life, according to him. And but as we recall from the end of the last episode before the break, which was a year-long break, you know, he's now in a situation where the gig is up, his secret is out. The people in his family, Hank has discovered his secret.
His DEA agent, brother-in-law.
I mean, just spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, what were you doing last night,
yeah.
honestly? I mean, we can talk about what happened.
Sure, okay.
You know, the episode starts out in a way that so many of the episodes of Breaking Bad have, where it starts with this snippet of something that's happened way in the future, and then it rewinds.
Yeah.
They did it a lot in the season with the plane crash.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little, we talked about this afterwards, after I watched it, I feel like it's a little overused. Like you see this little hint of what's to come and then you're just tossed back into where you left off. I don't know if I loved that, but when we meet Walter White again, his home is decrepit.
Yeah.
There's loiterers in the back in his empty drained pool skateboarding and he looks a mess.
Yeah.
What did you make of all that?
Well, I think, you know, if you'll recall, this is the second kind of flash forward we've seen from that same period. The first one was he was making his, celebrating his birthday with the bacon, 50 eggs or whatever it was. I think that what it does is it kind of reassures, I think, viewers that they know this thing's going to end. They know what they're doing, and gives you kind of like a puzzle to start working on in your head. How did he get to this place? You know, why does he have hair? Who wrote Heisenberg on the wall?
Well, I think what you said is really interesting. That gives viewers a taste of, or a thought that they know what they're doing, which is for Breaking Bad such an important aspect of that show. Audiences really want to know that Vince Gilligan knows what he's doing from beginning to end. For whatever reason, the Breaking Bad audience is convinced and loves the idea that the creators of that show have known from first episode to final episode where they're going.
And of course they haven't, because TV doesn't work that way. It works, you know, on a season, and all the writers get together and they figure out, all right, what's the arc of this season, and then they start working out each episode within it. But you know, Mo Ryan, our TV critic, had a great interview with Vince Gilligan where he says, you know, they actually had the time because, so as everybody probably knows, there were 8 episodes that aired a year ago, and then this is the final 8 that's coming right now. And even this final 8, they had a lot of time to prepare for it. And he said that was a really great luxury. You don't usually get that in TV. So he says, if nothing else, I can say that we looked into every possible option, and they feel really strongly he doesn't have any regrets about it. So I feel like we're in good hands. It was a very assured episode. It ended with this incredible confrontation that was so well done, so well acted. Also, Aaron Paul, who plays Jesse, just doing some amazing acting in this episode. And then, of course, just Bryan Cranston.
You actually tweeted about one of my favorite scenes involving Jesse. You tweeted, "Walter is never more evil than when he's pretending to feel bad about Drew Sharp's death," which was actually my favorite scene in that episode, because the first half of that episode, we're seeing him trying to be a family man, trying to get his life back together, trying to be good. And then we get a scene with him where we get to see, oh no, he's still a lying sociopath.
Yes, absolutely.
Almost worse.
Manipulative monster. Yes. Absolutely.
Like that will never go away. Like his lack of conscience is never going to go away, no matter what he tries to do. That is seemingly normal.
Absolutely, and you can tell he's never. You know, it's presented almost as this big sacrifice. Oh, I'm going to give up my drug lord life and you know, run the car wash and worry about where the air fresheners are located. But clearly, he cannot give up this life, and he's good at it. When you see him, the scene with Hank, the shades of evil that he keeps pulling out. One minute I'm going to be manipulative, then I'm going to be whiny and complaining, and then at the end when he just says, "I would tread lightly if you don't know who I am." I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Acting, writing, the whole directing.
And do you think we're going to see more of that with this character? It seems like the more the Walter White tries to grasp at normalcy, the more he devolves. Like his humanity just continues to devolve into nothingness.
He's like a dervish of destruction. I mean, he's just like, he's laid waste to everything around him, all while, and I was thinking about this last night, you know, everyone kind of, the assumption has been he's got to die at the end. But then some people have said, well, wait a minute, what if he doesn't die, he just loses everything? And the one thing that would be most interesting for him to lose are his self-justifications. He's still clinging to this idea that he did everything for his family, and he's appealing to Hank, you know, protect our family. I'm going to die. I'll be gone either way. And for him to finally have to face the fact that he did this all for his own ego and that he really is evil and there's nothing else to be said about it would be the ultimate comeuppance, I think, for Walt, rather.
Yeah, I completely agree. Mike, thanks so much for coming on, talking to us about Breaking Bad.
And
you're doing a Facebook chat this afternoon, right?
Yeah, 3 p.m. today on the HuffPost main Facebook. We'll be talking about it with our audience.
Fantastic. Mike,
Fabulous.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Always a pleasure.